Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to add my voice to the chorus wishing you a very happy birthday. I want to thank the chairs and ranking members of the big committee and the staffs of the subcommittee for your hard work on the bill. But, Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, I must stand in opposition to this bill. The majority is trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the American public with empty rhetoric about America first. The bill will not make America first. It will make America last. Last in global influence, last in international leadership, last in its capacity to respond to the most pressing challenges here at home and abroad. I'm concerned that the majority does not realize that the president's empty promises, his actions to stomp on the feet of our allies, and his warmongering are harming our national interests. President Trump has embarked on a unilateral trade wars with our allies and partners, which has created market instability, increased consumer costs, harmed American manufacturers and workers, and damaged our global economic competitiveness. How do we go back to our constituents and tell them that the president's action on the world stage are helping them to put food on their table when inflation is out of control? Do we think that our constituents don't notice that the price of gasoline jumped up 1/3 in just a month after the president instituted his war with Iran? In all of my years of public service, I never imagined the global standing of the United States of America could fall so quickly and so greatly due to the actions of one man. And today, the Republican majority in Congress lacks the fortitude to stand up to him. President Trump, again with the help of this Congress, has sadly weakened vital American institutions that make our country safer and ensure our security, prosperity, and well-being of billions of people around the world. For example, the president has shuttered the United States Agency for International Development, and in so doing has defunded over 80% of all global health and development programs. USAID has played a vital role in combating food insecurity around the globe, which is an issue that is very important to me as the ranking member on the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Agriculture. Particularly near and dear to me, the decision to shutter USAID is taking a devastating multi-billion-dollar toll on American farmers, as USAID has historically been one of the largest buyers of U.S.-grown crops. USAID has sourced 41% of the food aid directly from American farmers, everything from wheat from Kansas to soybean oil from Iowa to peanut products from Georgia's 2nd Congressional District. As a result, the closure of USAID has hurt American farmers too, not to mention the millions of lives that will be lost by steep cuts to its global health and conflict prevention initiatives. President Trump has also effectively shut down the United States Institute of Peace, which promotes conflict resolution mechanisms and advances peace around the world. The U.S. Institute of Peace is zeroed out in this bill. Mr. Chairman, if these cuts are what America First is about, then we should consider renaming it America Alone or America Concedes. If it isn't abundantly clear by now, I don't believe that there is any true representation of our values as Americans who are among the most generous, kind, and charitable people anywhere. Our sense of charity and kindness to foreigners is often guided by our religious faith. Our patriotism isn't always self-directed, it's directed outwards. But more than a century of American presidents working with the United States Congress have recognized that global challenges require cooperation and institutions to resolve differences in ways that avoid costly wars and economic destructions. We have lived more prosperous, peaceful, and free lives as a result. This bill is a portrayal of the principles for which America stands, and I urge my colleagues to oppose it, and I hope that before this process is over, that we will be able to come to an agreement on a bill that more accurately and more prominently and fairly reflects the true values of the United States of America. I yield back.